Hello everyone. In this video, I'm trying to beat Plants vs. Zombies without firing a single projectile. Now, to clarify, this means that I can't use something like the pea shooter because, well, it fires a projectile. But I'm also not allowed to, for example, use night shrooms during the day as mini walnuts because that's, in my opinion, kind of unfair since I'm using those plants that are actually not allowed. And I actually compiled a list of all the plants that are banned for this run, and oh boy, it's it's a long list. Here we go. Pea shooters, snow peas, repeaters, puff shrooms, fume shrooms, getty shrooms, three peaters, sea shrooms, cacti, split peas, starfruit, cabbage poults, kernel poults, melon poults, and also the special plants you can buy from Crazy Dave, which are the gatling peas, gloom shrooms, cattails, because they also shoot projectiles, winter melons, and cob cannons, because they require you to plant some of the aforementioned plants. That's all the rules. Now let's get this started. We started off in level... Wait. Well, shit. Yeah, we do unfortunately have to plant two pea shooters in level 1-1, and trust me, you can stay here for as long as you like. Nothing will change. The level won't continue until you plant two pea shooters. So the next logical question is, how many pea shooters, no peas repeaters? No, we're not doing that again. Alright? Okay, moving on. So, the question is, how many it will take after adding on 2 to our no-no counter. We can move on to 1-2, in which we are left with no choice but to plant another pea shooter. And trust me, I tried for about 2 hours but got nowhere. The planting cooldown on sunflowers is too high and we can't plant them fast enough to block all the zombies until the final horde arrives. Because if you have at least 2 lawnmowers by the time the final horde has arrived, you can complete 1-2 without planting any pea shooters, but sadly I could not make that happen. No matter how much I tried, I never succeeded, but I do encourage all of you to try to prove me wrong and beat this level without planting a single pea shooter. Anyway, this adds one more to our no-no counter, but after finishing with that nightmare of a level, we unlock the cherry bomb, with which we beat level 1-3 quite easily, because now we have something other than the lawnmowers to kill zombies. Going into 1-4, we unlock the walnut, but also we get the final 2 lanes unlocked, which means we just have 2 more lanes to defend. You might think that would make things a lot harder, but by planting a row of sunflowers in the back, holding off the zombies with walnuts, and blowing some of them up with cherry bombs, this level is actually quite easy. Now we can move on to 1-4, which is a walnut bowling level, so nothing really there. Then with some more help from the potato mine, which we got back in 1-5, we make our way to 1-7, where we unlock the chomper, which is the holy grail of our run, since the chomper doesn't fire any projectiles and just eats the zombies. Therefore, it isn't a banned plant. This helps us massively in the run, since it's our best way to kill the zombies. Next, we arrive at 1-10, and if you didn't know, the 10th level of every world is a conveyor belt level, which means you don't get to select your plants. Plants are brought to you on a conveyor belt on the top of the screen, and you have no control over what plant shows up next. But there will only be plants from that world, so in the case of 1-10, the chompers are amongst that list, so we can safely beat the level without any hiccup. But we have to use the strategy of placing and immediately digging up any of the banned plants, because otherwise our conveyor belt would get full and we wouldn't get any non-banned plants. Now we move on to the night levels, aka the second world, aka world numero dos, where nothing really changes except sun no longer falls from the sky, so sunflowers are our only source of income, or suncome, if you will. This makes getting a row of chompers down way harder, but after Rocky 2-1, we unlock the sun shroom, which is basically a night sunflower. There really aren't any more problems until 2-10, because 2-10 is, you guessed it, another conveyor belt level, which means we don't get any chompers, but the level is still very much doable with the help of doom shrooms, hypno shrooms, and ice shrooms. Next up are the pool levels. These add one more lane, making it a total of 6 lanes, and make the middle 2 lanes water, and in order to plant in said 2 middle lanes, you need to place a lily pad first. At first I thought level 3-5 would be a problem, but turns out they want you to use cherry bombs, and some pea shooters too, but those aren't really needed. So the level turned out to be perfectly doable, unlike 3-10. For this level, definitely buy the pool cleaners from Crazy Dave's shop. They are essentially water lawnmowers. They are basically necessary for this level. Anyway, this level is a big problem because it can't be done without the 3-peater, which is the only banned plant that they give you. The jalapenos, squashes, and spikeweeds simply aren't enough to get past the second flag. So I had to use two 3-peaters. We would need more, but we are also given torch boots, so that makes the 3-peaters about 2 times stronger. This could potentially be done with one 3-peater, but you would have to have all the zombies come from 3 lanes, and I don't think that's happening anytime soon. So another 2 added to the no-no counter. Little correction here. I actually had to use one 3-peater. Well, playing through the game again because I wanted to actually still perfect it. I got to 3-10 and decided, you know what, I'll give it a shot with one 3-peater. And it's totally possible. You can do it with one 3-peater. You put it on either the top or the bottom, and the other side you guard with tall nuts and spikeweeds on the ground. And the lane in the water, you stall them with a tall nut and kill them with jalapenos and squashes. And like that, it's beatable. It's hard, but still beatable. So yeah, only one. After that HE double jalapeno, we move on to World 4, which is the worst world ever. In this world, you have fog that is on your lawn, and oh, side note, the pool and 6 lanes are still there, so that's just more plants needed to defend your house. The fog moves further and further the farther you get in this world. It starts off on the 7th square. By the way, there are 9 squares horizontally. In 4-2 it moves to the 6th square, and in 4-7 it moves to the 5th square, where it stays until the end of the world. Now I know you can't see through it in some spots, which will allow you to detect the zombies, or if they are on the top lane you can see their head, but that doesn't help much. You do unlock the lantern after beating level 4-1, but there is not a reason to use it very often. It's better to go with a plant that can actually defend you instead of showing you your doom, and the lantern would only be helpful for the first few zombies. Moving on, level 4-5 is a vase breaker level, and it's relatively simple. In the first set, break all the vases and you have enough squashes to kill the zombies. In the second set, try to use only one lawnmower, or 2 like I did. So in the last set, you can only defend 1 lane, but watch out for disco zombies. In the last set, they can summon dancers in adjacent lanes, so try to take care of them fast. After that, there isn't anything special until 4-10, which is the reason why World 4 is the worst world of them all. In this level, you can only see the screen about 50% of the time, if that. Oh, and I couldn't do this level without any of the banned plants, nor could I do it with 2 or 4, so I resorted to planting 6 starfruit in the first row, and that got the level done. Turns out you can actually do it with 5, so that's just 5 more onto the no-no counter instead of 6. Alright, that's all. To be fair, in that level, sometimes the plants I planted and immediately attempted to dig up get a shot off before I'm able to do anything, but you can't blame me because I'm only human after all. After taking a big hit to the no-no counter, we move on to the final world, aka the roof, where normally the challenge is that it's sloped, so you can't use pea shooters, but oh snap, we can't use them anyway. So the chompers work just fine as always. I got started a little bit when I got to 5-5 because it's a conveyor belt level, but they actually want you to use chompers. That's basically all they give you, besides pumpkins. And now, the one, the only, Dr. Zomboss. This was it. The final level in the game is pretty difficult. Zomboss throws down at least 1 or 2 zombies onto every lane before crawling down so you can attack him. He spits out fire or ice balls which can be taken out with either the jalapeno or the ice room. These balls will just roll over all your plants and kill everything. So you want to usually avoid letting them get through. And I didn't do it with 0. I didn't do it with 2. I didn't do it with 3. I did it with 4. Quick intervention here, it's actually 3 because I fucked up again and you could do it with less. And the results are in. We finished Plants vs Zombies by planting only 3 pea shooters, 1 3-peater, 5 starfruit, and 3 melon bolts. And after doing some first grade math, we get a total of 12 banned plants planted. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all. Thank you for watching, and bye bye. And as a quick little thank you at the end of the video, I just want to say to anyone who watched to the end that I really do thank you very much, because I am a big stupid idiot, and when recording the final Zomboss fight, I ran out of space on my hard drive, so I lost all of that footage, but I thought, alright, that's okay, it's not the end of the world. I want to perfect the game anyway, so I'll just play through for the second time and get the Yeti achievement. And for all of you that don't know, to get that achievement you have to play through the game a second time and get the level 4-10. And then do 10 more levels and kill Dr. Zomboss. That's 2 birds with 1 stone, and that's fine. But then I came to the sad realization that playing through the game for a second time, the levels are harder. and so is Zomboss. So, I played through the game a third time, and finally killed Dr. Zomboss. After about 36 hours of gameplay, I finally recorded one full playthrough of the game, and I was finally done. And then I lost all my save data because I chose local save and not Steam Cloud Save, so yeah, I hate this game now. Bye bye!